thinking to myself, and I realized that I do like Team Extreme, even if Tommy Dreamer is like 107 years old.
I think the only thing that really bothers me is that it looks like his hair's sprayed on, except for that bald spot in the back.
Yeah, it's like they missed it or something.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, hey.
Hey!
Hey, guys. Welcome to,
Just doing the thing, right?
yeah, the midweek wrap-up.
Hey, well, there's the logo.
Episode 90?
90.
90, episode 90, midweek wrap-up. You see the names, you know who we are.
I'm Travis Colt.
I just said they see the names.
This is Kevin Hawk.
Fuck off. Yeah, let's just delve right into things.
Let's do it.
Main event.
Yes.
Some interesting choices were made.
Yeah. We open up with a 6-diva tag team match.
This was my favorite of the choices.
We had Paige, Natalia, and Brie Bella.
That's a good choice.
Taking on Summer Rae, Naomi, and Tamina. The biggest story from this match is that halfway through the match, Lana made her way down to ringside.
Mm-hmm.
And Rich Brennan and Jerry the King Lawler became the luckiest men in the building as she decided to sit right in the middle of the commentator's table.
Yeah.
She didn't get involved. This is more stemming from what happened on Raw when she called...
Tiny little goat man.
Yes, when she called Daniel Bryan a tiny little goat man.
Tiny little goat man.
Brie, Paige, and Natalia would end up picking up the win. Naomi would go for a crossbody on Brie Bella. Brie Bella would actually be able to roll through and put her into the yes lock and make her tap out.
Fairly good transition, too.
Yeah, I enjoyed that ending a lot.
It's pretty smooth.
I'm interested to see what kind of role Lana plays from this point on. Like, what is her end game?
Hot chick.
Because we know we're not going to get Daniel Bryan versus Rusev anytime soon, or ever.
We're gonna get Brie versus Rusev.
All right, I'm all for it. And then I decided I don't give a fuck about Ryback anymore because he's just going to bury all of the social outcasts as he was once again assaulting a member. He assaulted Heath Slater this time. Punched him repeatedly and then delivered a shell shock. Yeah! Yeah!
The social outcast promo before the match was really funny.
It was hilarious.
It
was the highlight of the match.
Curtis Axel talking about how much he knows about Ryback because they were a team at one point.
Yeah.
So he was trying to make the fact that, Adam Rose, Heath Slater, Bo Dallas, they're all fairly goofy.
Yeah. He didn't want any more nicknames. No more nicknames that didn't need to happen anymore.
He's basically just saying we have to take Ryback seriously because he's big and scary and he likes to hit things.
And when we get him down, we just gotta, yeah! Yeah! And then I started doing the axe chops and screaming, yeah! Through most of the match. That actually became a chant at one point.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Who knows? It's like the social outcasts.
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 They think they're rhinoceroses?
Yeah.
Thank you, Curtis Axel.
It's like you can never know where they're going or what they're going to do.
They're more random than the New Day.
Yeah, and that's saying something because the New Day can get pretty random.
Yeah.
But you're like, you never know what direction the promo's going to go in. You never, unless they tell you beforehand, you never know who they're going to end up going against.
But it's fairly entertaining, regardless.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they're jobbing out to Ryback.
Yeah,
Moving on. Speaking of jobbing, we had the Lucha Dragons defeat the Ascension. Go figure.
Hey.
Selena del Sol and a swanton onto Victor. And then in the main event, we had Stardust taking on Zachariah Ryder, as he put it in his promo. Good match. Ryder pulling out a new move, a top rope elbow drop.
Yeah, that's cool.
Thought he was going to get... It was a really good elbow drop. Thought he was going to get the win, but he did not. He would actually He'd end up going into the corner, and as Stardust was running at him, he tried to do that leap over that people try to do. Stardust would stop himself. As Ryder landed, he'd grab him, set him up, and hit him with the Queen's crossbow, and Stardust would pick up the win.
Yeah.
Then we move
Ryder did not win on the match.
We move on to NXT.
Or WWE Next.
Thanks.
To some people who read Facebook articles.
Facebook morons. We open up with Hugo, Knox, and Tucker Knight getting a shot to make a name for themselves in the tag team division as they took on the Vaudevillains. Hugo Knox is very impressive.
Yeah, I'll be real here. I want to see more of both of these fellas.
Yeah.
I liked what I saw, which, I mean, unfortunately wasn't that much.
No, they were the jobbers.
They were the enhancement talent.
But they did a good job. I mean, with the offense that they got off,
Yeah,
Hugo
they did
Knox.
a good jobber.
Hugo Knox is a monster. Like, he is a very compact monster.
Yeah, no, Corey Graves said he looks like a human action figure.
Yeah, he's super ripped, very athletic. That drop kick he threw on Aiden English was amazing. He barely had to try, and you can, like, you put it the best way. Like, you can only imagine he could jump higher than what he did there. It was a great showing for those two guys. But Hugo Knox would make the tag to Tucker Knight, and though Tucker Knight went on a pretty good run on both Simon Gotch and Aiden English, he would ultimately be done in by the Whirling Dervish, and the Vaudevillains pick up the win.
I think perhaps the biggest enemy to be felled by the Whirling Dervish.
Yeah, Tucker Knight's a big dude.
Yeah.
We had Not Rich interviewing Dana and Emma, talking more about, Asuka and how Deonna Purrazzo is a nobody, and go figure, she lost again, and Emma is going to make an example out of her opponent later in the show. We also find out that at Roadblock, which is the next WWE Network special, where you'll see Dean Ambrose taking on Triple H, we know that Enzo and Cass are going to get their tag team title shot against the Revival, Dash and Dawson.
Again?
Yes.
Alright.
And then speaking of that opponent that Emma was talking about, it would be Santana Garrett.
And I'll tell you right now, she did work her over.
And she's so over with that crowd. It's so good to see. I can only imagine Triple H is back there going, yes, yes. We saw Santana Garrett go against Asuka a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And, obviously she was not meant to come anywhere near winning that match, but she had a great showing. And it was still really good to see her go against Emma. There, some great back and forth stuff. She got a lot of really good offense on her part. But once again, she's the enhancement talent. Even though
Emma dragged her through the mud for a good portion of this match.
Emma didn't let up at all.
To me, I found that very fun to watch.
You like watching Emma be dominant?
Yes.
Do you want Emma to dominate you? Just say yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Emma would end up winning. She'd hit that little curb stomp move that she does and lock in the Emma lock, and Santana Garrett would tap out. Moving on to more Divas news, Regal is talking to Eva Marie and Nia Jax in the back, letting them know that, hey, you guys made yourself a pretty good team here, and just for that, I'm putting you guys on another tag team match. We don't know when this match is going to happen, but they'll be taking on Bayley again. But instead of Carmella, her tag team partner will be Asuka.
Yeah. If I'm Bayley, I'm a little more confident this go around.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure she didn't think that her and Carmella were going to get destroyed, but I'd feel way more safe with Asuka on my side.
Yeah, knowing that you went in with Carmella and you lost.
Yeah.
I feel like she would think her chances are a bit better.
Definitely.
Asuka seems to scare everyone.
Yes.
Doesn't really matter what their size is or what their experience level is. Everyone seems to be afraid of her, so
she's intimidating.
There's a bonus there. There's a bonus because that's the head games are already 50% of it.
There you go. You're halfway there, and Bayley's super talented, so you don't really need. And you know that Asuka is just dominant, so you pretty much got to win in the bag at this point.
Yeah.
Unless something real fuckery happens.
Something real fuckery.
Speaking of something real fuckery happening, we had the debut of Austin Aries.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the fact that the Hype Bros had a promo.
Oh, no, that's in a little bit.
That's just spoiler alert, Hype Bros have a promo. Now we don't have to talk about it.
Yeah, they're going against the Vaudevillains sometime, maybe next week, and the Vaudevillains are creepy, and we're actually behind the set that they were doing the promo in front of. But Austin Aries made his debut. William Regal saying this is one of the best acquisitions that NXT has had in the recent months. Austin Aries is making his way down. The crowd is going nuts.
And
then he gets clotheslined from behind by Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin, beats the shit.
He shit whips Austin Aries into the LED screen attached to the ring.
Worse than I've seen anybody ever get thrown into that thing. Austin Aries takes the most ridiculous
almost
bump.
Completely upside down.
Yeah.
Into the LED board.
Like Shane McMahon getting belly to belly into the King of the Ring set and then dropping on his fucking head. And
then he got his shirt ripped. That's like insult to injury.
And then he got the end of days on the outside.
Yeah.
And then Baron Corbin picked up the ripped shirt, yelled at William Regal, eye for an eye, and then threw the shirt at William Regal's face. I didn't think the shirt was going to make it, and I think that added a lot of emphasis because when it hit Regal, the crowd went, oh.
And it made his hair go.
Regal does have foofy hair.
Yes, his hair is foofy.
We had Elias Sampson pick up another win over Steve
body.
Cutler. Very similar to all of his other matches.
Yeah, I felt like this time he was a bit more aggressive.
Yeah. I mean, he was... Yeah, he adds some aggressiveness every time, but this one still felt very similar to the last one we saw.
Yeah,
there wasn't anything that stood out this time. Not to me, at least.
Something needs to happen here. And it's sad that this is like the second or third time I've had to say this about the same guy. Because basically it was like, something needs to change, and then he changed his finishing move. And then it was like, okay, now we just need something more.
I think what it is we haven't really... I think the problem is they're trying to be so mysterious with him. We haven't got a chance to know him. There's nothing to connect to his wrestling. I feel like there needs to be that character. We know he's a drifter. He's a loner. But we haven't actually heard him say anything or, speak his mind on anything in NXT. And I think if we have something of the way that he thinks or the way he goes about doing things, we might have more appreciation of his in-ring work.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
that's me.
I feel like it doesn't really matter what your character is. If you get stagnant too fast like this, you're not going to get over.
That's fair.
Anyways, because it's very repetitive. It's consistent. That's like the one thing. It's consistent.
Yeah. He hasn't gotten worse.
He's got good snap on a lot of his moves.
Yeah.
It's a lot of very basic fundamental stuff. But the fact that nothing is changing, nothing is evolving, it hurts him that he doesn't have anything flashy.
Yeah.
If he were to throw in a flashy move, like he had that top rope elbow drop once.
Yeah, well, and that was his original finisher.
Yeah, he uses a finish. If he would do that, or something else, something that is.
I would have kept the top rope elbow drop as the finisher and do his neck breaker as just a move during the match.
Yeah, it's very one-dimensional right now.
Yes.
As far as the things he does, so I mean the fact that he's fairly good sized, but he doesn't play up the fact that he's really strong.
Yeah.
He's athletic looking, but he doesn't play up the fact that he could be agile or fast.
Yeah.
So he's really not playing to any strengths. It's very I'm gonna come in and be very basic.
He's cookie cutter.
Yeah, and it's a little weird. I mean, it's a straight, and it's another thing too is the gimmick is so slow and nonchalant that adding that gimmick to that style, it's basically guy who doesn't say or do much wrestles a style that doesn't have anything that really pops.
Yeah.
It's layering boring on boring, so it's kind of a, you're almost killing it before it's starting.
Yeah. Let's hope he turns it around here soon.
He's a talented guy, so.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen him do jobber.
I enjoyed the matches he's lost prior to getting a gimmick more than the matches I'm seeing him in now.
Yeah. And then in our main event of NXT, we had the Battle of NXT Champions. We had current champion Finn Balor taking on former
versus
champion...
the women's champion, Bayley.
No, taking on former longest reigning NXT champion in Neville.
The man that gravity doesn't remember anymore.
Yeah, ever. Great match. I mean, there's nothing... No words can really define how good this match is because it's Finn Balor and Neville.
Yeah.
They're supreme athletes. They have amazing chemistry. And
I feel like I wouldn't really be able to do this match justice by talking about it.
No. I mean, we got to see this match live.
Yeah. Not this one particularly.
No.
But we got to see these guys wrestle live San Jose.
Yeah, last year just before WrestleMania. And it was...
It's like Neville's last match as part of the actual NXT roster.
It was his last NXT roster match. And it's so much fun to watch. If you haven't watched it, take a look. A great battle of who's going to hit the finisher first at the end of the match. Ultimately, Finn Balor hitting the double stomp and winning with the Bloody Sunday.
Yeah, what really lent itself to this match, in my opinion, is that you saw Neville spending a lot more time wrestling Finn Balor.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like Neville's usually the one who's going for all the crazy flips and high spots and fast-paced stuff. And in this go-around, he did dive, he had his moonsault, and he did do his typical stuff, his kicks and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And even the top rope Rana.
Right.
But it was also, Neville was the one that kept reverting back to trying to put Finn on the ground and put him in a headlock or in a submission hold.
Yeah.
And be the one to try and control the pace of the match, which is very not Neville-esque.
Yeah.
Because
that's more so the Finn Balor way.
Yeah, and it's the heel role of the match.
Right. Well, I get if you want to look at it that way, he technically was playing the heel because Finn is the top babyface on NXT. So, in a roundabout way, that is the role that Neville was playing.
Yeah, it's just a formulaic way that WWE books their matches.
Yeah.
Is that, one guy has to work one way, while the other guy has to be this way. And so it's interesting when you have a match where it is two baby faces or two heels against each other to see who really plays to what side of the match.
Yeah.
And it's fun to see Neville be a little outside the norm.
Yes. And then just before NXT ended, we had a promo, an interview with Joe and Sami Zayn, both giving their final thoughts before they go into next week's 2 out of 3 Falls match, which will determine the #1 contender spot to face Finn
Austin
Balor.
Aries.
Probably not.
Jay Lethal.
No.
2 out of 3 Falls to face Jay Lethal for the Ring of Honor Championship.
Good promo from both these guys. It's I like the animosity that they have between the two.
It's alright.
I really hope that this 2 out of 3 Falls has an ending. Just saying. There better not be 1 fall apiece and a draw, or I'll lose my fucking mind.
If they get to 1 fall apiece and a draw, they've officially reached
way too hard.
The level of dragging things out more than I think is actually possible.
Or necessary.
So they're breaking the laws of physics and time and stuff. Are there laws of time?
There might be.
Whatever it is, we're inventing laws of time and they're going to break it.
Yes. Moving on to Lucha Underground, we open up. Mil Muertes is demanding that Katrina put him in the match to go against Prince Puma and Pentagon Jr. Because
she said no.
She says no because
she's like, bitch, please.
Yeah, she's taken very much into this role of controlling the temple, and she's making the rules. And Muertes is like, you know what? I'm gonna find a way in regardless. And
did he make a comment about saying he wishes he could bury her? or he could bury her right now.
Yes.
It's like weird because to me, I feel like the way their relationship looks, when they're together prior to this moment, it seems like that's a very uncharacteristic thing for them to do, is to get into that kind of aggressive space.
They have a power struggle relationship.
Yeah.
And it kind of comes full circle later in the show.
It's not
and at this point...
They should seek counseling.
And so starting the show, Mil Muertes is not on his throne above the temple. We open up with the return of Sexy Star, and she's taking on newcomer Cobra Moon. Cobra Moon is still just... There's a lot missing.
I'll say this. Cobra Moon right now is to Lucha Underground what Elias Sampson is to NXT.
Yeah. Great gimmick. There's a gimmick there, and we know that she's a descendant of one of the tribes, but she hasn't done anything to make us go, wow.
Yeah, there's not enough of playing up the character or playing up the in-ring abilities.
Yeah. One
way or the other, or both.
And I thought for sure that going against someone like Sexy Star, she'd be able to pull out a really good match, considering her not so great debut against Bengala.
Yeah, and I actually think the Bengala match might have been a tad better than this
Probably.
one.
Though, I maybe they're playing into the fact that Sexy Star wasn't quite in the right mindset, because she was firmly in control. She had Cobra Moon in the pendulum, and was possibly on the verge of making her tap out. When she looked up into the crowd, Marty the Moth was up there and distracted her. She dropped Cobra Moon, allowing Cobra Moon to get her wits about her and put Sexy Star in the Dragon Sleeper and picking up the win.
Also to note that Mac was out there.
Yeah, Mac is
Sexy Star.
Mac's like her backup because of the issues with Marty.
I think Mac has a crush.
Oh, definitely. You kidding?
No, I'm not kidding.
Oh, good. We had another famous B vignette where he beats up some fake luchadors and tells you to call 423 get fame.
I'm going to call this number later.
Do it. This ends up actually being a commercial that Dragon Azteca Jr. is watching, and Ray's like, no, you're not watching this, you're focusing on your training because
I would have laughed, to be real, if like at the end when they pan out and they show Dragon Azteca's like watching it, is that he's like got his phone in his hand and he's like getting ready to dial the number. And then Ray's like, really? I'm
Ray just like knocks his phone out of his hand.
I'm training you. It's cold.
We are fighting now.
It's cold over here.
So Ray kicks his ass a little bit more, proving that he needs to focus on his training. Then we go into Prince Puma versus Pentagon Jr. A fantastic match as always.
At least for as long as it lasts.
Yeah, because this is where Mil Muertes makes his presence known. He comes just stomping down the stairs, and then he rips the sling off. So he is officially healed from the breaking of the arm that Pentagon gave him in episode 1, and then proceeds to whoop the shit out of both Pentagon and Puma in the ring.
Yeah.
Ultimately hitting a double flatliner to put them both down. He's not messing around right now. He's pissed.
And I think it comes from a good place for Muertes.
Yeah.
Because that is how Muertes deals with anything that's sort of out of his control or
just beat the shit out of it.
Yeah, it's like anything that he perceives as actually threatening, he has to go in as quickest form possible to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Because he's in a position right now where, like, having been established in like the first 2 or 3 episodes, that he basically has a third of the entire roster legitimately gunning for only him.
Yeah, and him and Katrina thought they had a plan in place by putting the Gift of the Gods Championship on King Cuerno.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's like, no, I kind of want a shot. I kind of want to go for the title.
If you think about it, for sure, Puma, Pentagon, Cuerno, Fenix, Johnny Mundo, and Cage have all basically said our target is Mil Muertes and his championship.
Yeah.
So...
Well, lucky for Prince Puma and Pentagon Jr., Mil Muertes has decided that next week we will have a triple threat match for the Lucha Underground Championship.
What?
So we'll see how that goes. We also found out
I bet it's going to be threatening.
Triply. We also found out that in, triple weeks, we will have the return of Aztec Warfare. That is the 20-man Royal Rumble style match where you get eliminated by pinfall or submission. 20 men or women, depending on who's
Yeah, there's probably a lady in there.
But this will decide the new #1 contender for the championship. We'll have that, and that'll be, I believe, episode 10 of this season, if I'm not mistaken. So, we have that.
Put an early bet.
Sure.
What are you thinking?
I'm gonna say... I'm gonna go with Cage.
Ooh, big boy.
Cage is going to take it.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here
Okay.
because and this is like the most limby you can go out on Lucha Underground
So Lemmy.
because
It's like Lemmy Killmeister.
it's something that could have happened so many times already,
Okay.
but hasn't. And so this could just be one in a list of 5,000 moments where it could have happened but didn't. I think it will be the debut of Matanza.
Oh shit. That's a good fucking idea.
But like I said, Lucha Underground's had like 500 times where they could have shown us Matanza.
And all we've seen is his face in the back of a truck.
Yeah, part of his face.
Yeah.
And like his ability to grab somebody through a door.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Bale. All right.
So I mean, yeah, it's one of those things where I feel like it's such a 50-50
Yeah.
that it's even less than that really because...
Well, we guessed 2 people and there's 18 other possibilities.
And that's just in the match.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like
infinite
25 other possibilities on the roster, so...
All right, moving on to figure out who the
I
current...
think about Joey Ryan. Could be Joey Ryan's penis. I think Joey Ryan's penis will win.
So big, so strong. Moving on to the main event, which, speaking of #1 contender spot, this is for the Gift of the Gods Championship. King Cuerno defending against Fenix in a ladder match. This match was kind of boring.
Yeah, which is, I'm going to be real, you don't say that often in matches involving Fenix and or King Cuerno.
And you don't usually say that in ladder matches.
Yeah,
Ladder matches for a championship. Or a briefcase, or something.
They set up for quite a few different things that they didn't do.
They set up for stuff, and I guess maybe our minds wandered too much, and we're like, oh, who's gonna go? Oh, he just kind of hit it. Okay.
Yeah, or like they had the one where they had like 2 ladders leaning against the ring on the outside, and they were like climbing up a ladder on the inside, and you're like, oh shit, somebody's gonna fall out of the ring onto those ladders.
Cuerno ended up moving one, which got used later, and then Fenix fell on his leg on one of them.
Yeah,
and that was about it.
Yeah.
The
setting
one
up, well, it looked like they were gonna body drop each other out of the crowd onto a ladder.
Yeah.
And instead, it just turned out like Fenix kind of got shoved.
Yeah.
A lot of just
the one that still kind of paid off was they were like battling for a suplex on top of a ladder, and then Fenix actually knocked Cuerno off and then dove over the top of the ladder onto him.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
Off a little platform.
Yeah. And the end was cool. We had battle for who's going to get up to the top rope. Cuerno decides he wants to get a little bit more aggressive, pulls out a table, sets it up. Fenix is actually able to turn around and give him a Danger Rana off the top rope through the table, climb the ladder, and become the new Gift of the Gods champion.
Dang.
What?
I want a graham cracker.
The tables kind of look like graham cracker.
Yeah, well, straight up, like, you know how graham crackers come with pre-built-in perforated lines?
Yeah.
That's how that table broke. Like a goddamn
right
graham
down
cracker.
the middle. So yeah, and we didn't even get a post-credits scene like we usually do with Lucha Underground. So Lucha Underground was kind of disappointing this week. Not a whole lot going on. Best part was the famous B promo.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. It was actually Pentagon versus Puma up until even the beatdown from Mil Martes was fun.
Yeah. I like the famous B promo.
The famous B promo was funny. That was it.
Yeah.
That's the midway wrap up. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thanks for watching. Like, favorite, and subscribe. Like,
No
comment, subscribe.
no favorites. You comment this
Hey, it's been
bitch.
a
Comment
while.
on this bitch.
It's been a while. I'm tired.
Tell them to comment on this bitch.
I did. I said like, comment, and subscribe.
No, comment on this bitch.
Comment on this bitch. Specifically, are you excited about Austin Aries being in NXT?
And not getting his ass whooped by Baron Corbin?
Who
Who do you think is going to debut and or win Aztec Warfare?
Yeah, who's going to win Aztec Warfare? Keep posting in the comments. Keep it going up until it actually happens.
Yes. That'll be 3 weeks.
Yeah, it'll be a while.
It'll be, it'll actually be the one, if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be the Lucha Underground just before WrestleMania. Because we are 32 days away. Actually, when you're watching this, it'll be 31, so yeah, it'll probably be just before WrestleMania.
Also, for you serial commenters out there, which
Yeah.
I'm talking to the people, those of you who comment multiple times,
Yeah.
you know who you are. There's only a handful of you. We appreciate you though.
Yeah.
I want to know in the comments, what do you think about the new network special being called Roadblock?
Yeah.
Just answer that for me, please. Please.
We might talk a little bit more about that during SmackDown tomorrow when we've got only one show to cover. Probably not the best name, but anyway,
I think it's fantastic.
be sure to click all the links down in the description: Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Reddit, 2 emails, and for those of you watching on YouTube,
Yeah,
you can check out that podcast.
Email me.
Podcast.
My email's down there. Email me.
Podcast. For those of you listening
You
to the
get a
podcast,
prize.
click the YouTube. Check out the
Prize
pictures
is
we
a
post.
response
Check
from
out
me.
this weird ass set we got going on. We got AJ with a weird face going, and
He's concerned. He's
Suicide.
concerned that Triple H is winning all the belts.
Suicide's got a tire. And for those of you already on YouTube, check out that playlist because before this is the review of the worst Raw ever.
I won't say it's the worst Raw ever.
No, you didn't say anything during the video.
I'm just saying it's not the worst Raw ever. We had the other Raw last year that we tore to pieces.
Yeah, but this one didn't even garner enough hate to tear it to pieces. It was just... Anyway.
It was the blandest Raw ever.
Okay. Coming up next will be the SmackDown Rundown, and we'll have some indie news with some Beyond Wrestling results that we should have had last week, but we did not. We'll also have AIW's Fullest House results
We
as
hope.
well. Yeah.
No, it's Fullest House, we hope.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.
As long as the video you watch next doesn't involve Alex Riley.
Fuck Alex Riley.
Fuck Alex Riley. Fuck that table, too, that you just kicked. Yeah, kicking the tables. Thinking they're Alex Riley.
I was trying to knock somebody down. It didn't work. Fuck Alex Riley.